it's been a long week, but do you know what we could all use a little bit of right now? You guessed it, theme park news. That's right, we're going to be breaking down the week's biggest stories and theme park news from across the industry, including one about a coaster concept that looks really cool, and dare I say, could be the direction that roller coasters are heading in. Alright, enough of that. Without further ado, let's get started. To start off this week's theme park news update, we're going to be talking about, because this week and this year in general has been a very interesting time for Frontier City. Earlier in the year, it was announced that they would not have full 7-day operations during the summer. We've had some rumors about free spins and other things coming maybe in 2025. And now one of their roller coasters is down for the rest of the year. That's right, Demon at Frontier City will be closed for the remainder of 2024. Which is not great, given that this coaster is over 30 years old and one of the only Aero shuttle coasters to ever exist, and one of the very few that are still operational today. And you know, it kind of makes you worry, what is going on with this coaster? And will it be, is it going to be around in 5 to 10 years? Is this a much bigger issue than we think? Now, obviously, we don't have really any concrete information of what's going on, but it still kind of worries you whenever a coaster shuts down for the rest of the year. But that's not all, because now we're getting rumors that one of Frontier City's water slides is going to get removed. However, on the other side of closures and removals and all of that, we're getting rumors that Six Flags Frontier City is planning on adding an S&S attraction next year. Whether that be a Screamin' Swing, like a drop tower or something like that, it would honestly probably be a really good, cost-effective addition to Frontier City. Again, I think whatever S&S attraction they choose, I think would probably be a good addition and a welcome one at Frontier City too. Heading down south to Busch Gardens, Tampa, where we're getting news that Scorpion, the attraction that is getting removed at the end of 2024, has gotten its closure date pushed back a little bit. So, Busch Gardens, Tampa announced recently that they would be closing Scorpion on September 2nd. But has now pushed that date back to September 8th. Now, a lot of people are upset that they didn't keep the coaster open through their Halloween event, giving more people time to ride this coaster one last time. And it's understandable, Busch Gardens Tampa really did not give a ton of heads up on when they were going to close this. They're kind of just like, hey, we're closing the ride, and here's a month to get your last rides in. We would have all preferred if they had given us more of a heads up, halfway through the season, but at least you get 6 more days to get one last ride. But with the removal of this coaster, it does make you wonder, what's going to take its place? Now, given that Busch Gardens Tampa, their last edition was a family coaster, it would make sense for this year to be a thrill coaster. But then again, Iron Gwazi only opened up back in 2022. So if they wanted to go another direction and, maybe add another family coaster, yes, it could happen. Or add a flat ride of some sort, or a couple flat rides, that would also make sense. But of course, we're all keeping our fingers crossed for a thrill coaster. Following the Cedar Fair and Six Flags merger, we're starting to see more Six Flags parks add chaperone policies for their Halloween haunt events. Just in the last week alone, we've seen Six Flags Fiesta Texas, Magic Mountain, Six Flags St. Louis, and Six Flags Over Texas all add chaperone policies for their Halloween events. Now, this is probably all in an effort to make sure that no fights break out or anything of that nature take place. But it does start kind of make you wonder, was this as a result of the merger? Would Six Flags without Cedar Fair, would they have enacted these chaperone policies? I honestly don't know. And I wouldn't have been surprised if this wasn't going to be a thing without the merger. The chaperone policy rules will be like pretty much every other theme park, and just be prepared that more parks will probably be adding chaperone policies here soon too. Alright, we're gonna end off the week on a good note, because Maurer Rides just released another potential layout for their really cool coaster concept of the Maurer Spike Coaster. So if you're unaware of what the Maurer Spike Coaster is, it is basically a roller coaster that is super customizable. I believe you can, on some models, control the speed at which you are going through the layout. I mean, obviously, there's different ways to customize the ride, but, that's one of the headlining features of this. And Maurer has been releasing these layouts and these concepts for the Spike Coaster these past few years, and they look really, really cool. Now, these are still in their prototype phase. They're not tried and true models, have been around for forever like the Hypercoaster. these are still brand new, and we haven't seen them really pop up at major amusement parks anywhere. Now, Six Flags Qiddiya is supposed to be building one of these called Sea Stallion or whatever. And again, just looking at the layout, it's just such a cool concept. Now, obviously, some concerns would be reliability. It's a prototype. There could definitely be issues. Also, you have capacity concerns because a lot of these potential layouts and stuff, their trains are really tiny, holding like 2 to 4 passengers at a time. So capacity is definitely a big concern. Now, one cool thing about this is I believe these are powered by electricity, not just straight gravity. So it is possible to have a lot of trains on the course at once to help improve the capacity when you are only having 2 to 4 people on a train. And Mauer has been releasing these spike coaster prototypes, and each one of them is super unique and has a cool, fun feature that separates it from pretty much every other roller coaster out there. But here's the real question. Are these types of roller coasters, is the Mauer Spike Coaster type attraction, is that going to end up being the future of roller coasters? Now, it is definitely unlikely that we completely move away from the traditional roller coaster. But I would not be shocked if we see more Mauer Spike Coasters being built in the next 10 to 20 years. Or maybe not necessarily the exact models of the Mauer Spike Coaster we see today, but a ride similar, like electric powered track or whatever, customizable ride experience. Now here's the thing. We've broken most of the achievable, roller coaster records. It's harder to go higher than 450 feet. It's harder to go faster than, 140 miles per hour. It might seem crazy now, but we're really running out of records to break. And when parks run out of records they can break, they turn to gimmicks. Now, I'm not saying this is necessarily a gimmick, but this is definitely something a lot different than the traditional roller coaster. And I would not be shocked if parks jump on the trend of doing something new and exciting than trying to break every single record they can possibly find. Honestly, this coaster concept, this concept model in general, is super exciting. But do I think the model in its current form is the future of roller coasters? I'd say probably not now. But the idea behind it probably is. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like down below. Subscribe for more coaster content coming your way. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll see you all in the next one.